Welcome to Capes, Cowls, and Conversations. We are back and ready to do some trailer talk. The new Superman trailer is out, or as James Gunn would say, the first Superman trailer is out. And Ironheart is out. And I'm not sure why they waited this long to put Ironheart out, but it actually looks good.
I'm going to go with bad reception to Black Panther 2 and maybe partially bad reception to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
What about the one thing you mentioned to me about earlier this week, like yesterday or the day before that we talked about?
Which one? I don't.
The whole Ironheart thing.
Oh,
being mistaken for something else.
What's that?
I don't think it's even something we can say on here.
The name of the character was taken from Prawn. Yeah.
Adult videos.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know nothing about that. So
Yeah,
I didn't
there
either.
was
but I
controversy.
also know nothing about Ironheart.
Well, she's also one of the characters that was a big push for the desexualizing of superheroes because they drew her to be like she's like 15 and they drew her to look like a 20-year-old in a kind of a sexual way.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's a character that's had a lot of controversy since her inception in 2016.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I being someone who doesn't read the comics and only have Riri Williams from Black Panther 2, which, if I'm being honest, I wasn't super impressed with the character then.
I wasn't either. Even in the What If episode as well.
I like the What If episode better than Black Panther 2.
I think
I'm not even kidding. Yeah. It's not even kidding.
I think they gave her too much screen time in Black. She just kind of took too much away from the story, and they needed to focus more on the story that was being told than focusing on her character. She just kind of came in and it just felt off. I don't know.
Yeah, I really didn't care for her in that, but just seeing this trailer, which we're about to watch, I was a little more excited about it. Let's give it a run through real quick.
All right.
Hello? For real?
Welcome, Riri. In less than 3 minutes, the air in this elevator will no longer be breathable.
Oh, what is this?
Your interview. You'll suffocate, die unless you break into the device on the floor, where you'll find a gas mask. Good luck.
Screw this.
I heard Riri Williams was a genius. So you in or out? Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
You are not the first genius at MIT.
How come you're not working at one of those fancy tech firms?
After my internship abroad, I want to build something undeniable. Something
Important?
iconic.
It's a brand new.
I can give you the tools to help you carry out your vision. But anyone who's ever accomplished anything iconic in life has had to do some questionable things to get it done. What will you do, Riri?
You've bitten off a hell of a lot more than you can chew. I could chew a lot.
You know nothing about this man.
You're gonna end up dead or in jail.
This is so much bigger than that.
This is wild. A shady bunker.
My bunker's not shady. Would a shady bunker have that on the wall?
It's literally above a crate of self-guided missiles.
I'm returning those.
Can I just say, all you really have to do is, get into a duel with him and shoot before you count to 10.
I immediately seeing him, the first thing I think is, I'm John Lawrence in the place to be, 2 pints of Sam Adams that I'm working on 3. I can't see him in this role, but I mean, he does look pretty good in the trailer. We're going to let the trailer continue to run without the audio, but he does look pretty good in the trailer. But I have heard and seen Hamilton so many times at this point that all I can think of him is John Lawrence from Hamilton.
I was thinking his son, Hamilton's son.
Oh, Philip.
Oh,
He plays
that's where
both.
he's from.
He plays
Okay.
both John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton,
I didn't
and they
think it was
both
that
die.
long
and they
since
both die. So
Dang.
Yeah, it's like count to 10.
Also, I am glad to see. Oh gosh, what's his name? I guess who's going to be the main antagonist or whatever.
the Hood.
What is his name? Him.
Anthony Ramos. That's who
Yes.
we're talking about. He's John Lawrence and Philip Hamilton.
I thought you were talking about the guy at the end.
Nope. No.
Oh
Yeah, I know what you're
gosh.
referring to, which is Transformers and G.I. Joe. And
And Twisters. He was a really good character in that movie.
I didn't
too.
watch.
I didn't
I
watch
didn't watch that.
Twisters.
Twisters is so
Rise
good.
of
Is
the
it?
Beast wasn't that good, so I don't know.
I liked it, but only because I still like Star Wars.
Wow.
Transformers.
We're struggling
Oh my
here tonight.
Gosh.
Star Trans
Ooh.
Transformer
All right.
Joe.
Oh boy.
Is this part of the Trans CU?
Oh god.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, no, I excited to see that. There is a glaring omission from this trailer.
Mephisto?
No.
Oh.
There's a By the way,
Mephisto.
seeing the suit right there reminds me I am less turned off by that suit than the one from Black Panther.
I was
2.
about to say I do
It's
like
so much
this
better.
suit better
So
than
much
what
better.
they used than what she made in
It's a little more
Wakanda Forever.
It's a little more sleek. It's not as Hulkbuster,
And it's not as cartoony.
and it's not as
either.
cartoony either.
I
Exactly.
hate all 3 outfits she has worn so far.
I don't hate this one. It looks like Tony's first suit, only a little more female driven.
This should be her second suit.
I know, but it looks like Tony's first suit.
But see,
and-
it's like the right amount of bulkiness that the War Machine suit was.
It-
So
Fair.
it's not bad.
Fair. I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
I'm good. You guys keep talking about glazing it because
But
it's
no, there's
awful.
there's a glaring omission here, and it has to do with the suit,
Mhm.
and it has to do with the comics.
Oh,
The
it's
color?
still not red and gold.
No, I don't care about the
No.
red and gold.
What?
Who is the voice of her AI?
I don't care.
Who's the
Oh, it's
voice of
supposed
her
to
AI?
be
I don't
Tony,
care.
right?
It's Tony in the comics, and they don't let you hear the AI voice one time.
Well,
Oh.
here's,
Not once. You
here's-
have no idea who the AI voice is for the
here's
show.
why I don't
So
care.
that makes me think RDJ was probably doing the AI voice lines for Ironheart before Doomsday started production.
Maybe.
Here's why
I hope so.
Here's why I
That
don't,
would be actually pretty cool.
here's why I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Here's why I don't care. She's never met Tony. She at least had she was idolizing Tony Stark in the comics to a degree. When Tony died and left the AI, right? He left it as a way to still be alive. It had his memories. It was basically him.
Yeah.
To the
so I have a
point
thing on that.
to the point where he got cloned back into existence
And yeah.
and then was Tony Stark again.
Yeah.
That's why I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't,
no.
I don't want that to
Here's
play
the
out.
thing. Here's the thing. Someone was writing about this the other day. If you rewatch Endgame with this perspective, Tony creates the video for his family, specifically for Morgan.
Mhm.
And at the
Oh,
end
so
of it,
he probably already created that AI for him.
at the end of it, when they are sitting down watching that together, if you pay attention to it, he says, "I love you 3000," and he looks at Morgan for a response, for a reaction.
Yeah.
He doesn't just say it like, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. he actually looks at her, and it was intentional. Like it's not just a recorded video, but it actually is him downloaded potentially to set up him being the AI for this and coming back eventually. Not that it would be Robert Downey Jr., but because he's 60 something years old, I think at this point, but the fact that they laid the groundwork in there for that, and they actually have him say, I love you 3000. And then he looks at her, and it's not him. It's not just him looking in the direction. So he would have no idea where she's going to be sitting in the room.
Right. But she does have an idea of what her height level is on a couch. So I could.
But he doesn't know she's going to watch it from a couch. He has no concept of where she's going to watch it from.
They could. I don't see
so
it like
it
that.
is more set up to be his AI speaking.
On the thing that for the cloning thing, it doesn't have to be RDJ because what they're saying is that it would be an AI, so you could put it in anybody's body.
Exactly. And I'm okay with that if they find the right actor. I'm okay with that storyline playing out if they find the right actor for it.
I just don't care for that storyline. I've never cared for that storyline.
That's up to you.
But also,
to each their own.
If it is going to be the AI of Tony Stark, how does she get it?
Well, she's an MIT student, and if you remember in Civil War, Winter Soldier, which one was it?
Civil War was the one.
Civil War. He's at MIT doing the regression thing that he did.
Oh yeah,
and he donated all the money to any future project at MIT that people came up with. He could have left that behind.
True.
And again, that's another thing where I'm like, there's 3 people that absolutely would have gotten his AI. Or 5 people that would have gotten his AI, and she is not one of them.
Well, Spider-Man got a version of his AI, but it wasn't Tony.
It would have been Peter.
In the glasses.
It would have been Peter. It would have been War Machine. It would have been Pepper. It would have been his daughter, or it would have been the kid from Iron Man 3.
And who knows how far out of Endgame are we years-wise?
5 years past the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
We're in 2025 officially as of the current timeline.
So Morgan's 10, 12?
Give or take.
10 or 12-ish?
Yeah.
I don't know.
See,
Harley Keener might have gotten it.
He's at least almost in his 30s now. Like he's in his late 20s, early 30s at this point. The character. He was like,
he looked like he was 18 in Endgame.
He was like 13 when Iron Man 3 came out. So at least 12 or 13.
Okay, let's say he was 13.
Yeah.
Iron Man 3.
And then so Infinity War would have been roughly 5-6 years later on top of the 5-year gap.
So, but if he was snapped,
if he was snapped, he'd still be 18, but that's still another 5 years later. So he's early 20s.
So he could be a grad student at MIT.
So he would be early 20s now because of the snap, but he would be late 20s chronologically if you don't,
I'm just saying it's possible that they find a storyline there that connects one of the people. If Morgan was old enough, if Harley was old enough. It's possible. Peter obviously didn't because Peter's version of the AI was Friday.
No, completely different character.
Tony sounded like Friday. Though.
I thought he said. I thought he actually called her Friday in the glasses.
No, he called her Veronica or something.
Okay, maybe it was Veronica.
But
no, Veronica was the Hulkbuster.
No, Veronica is the name of the Hulkbuster. The AI that Tony uses is Friday up until Endgame. Spider-Man in Homecoming had an AI that was voiced by Jarvis's real life wife. But I don't remember. Oh. Yeah, I don't remember what he ended up calling her. He brings up a name.
Karen.
Yes.
He named her Karen.
Yes.
She's, what do you want to call me?
Her name is officially that AI is Karen, but he actually got rid of it. But it wasn't Friday. It was a completely different AI.
I thought he called her Friday in the glasses.
Peter never got Friday.
So either way,
I thought the one person to, I guess, like uphold the Iron Man mantle or whatever and like continue using an Iron Man suit would have been Tony's daughter.
I would have thought it was War
random grad.
I would have thought it was War Machine, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But War Machine should have been using a version of...
Actually, they kind of imply
Friday / Jarvis.
They actually imply that War Machine isn't War Machine anymore, that he is a politician.
Yeah, well, I
primarily now.
mean, it wasn't even him. If you're going to take Secret Invasion into account, it wasn't him for a decade.
They said that it wasn't Civil War when it got taken. So it was after Endgame.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess we'll see.
I don't know because they're being they don't want to talk about it. Like you
Yeah.
can
I was
tell
about
they
to say,
don't
aren't
want
you
to
also
talk
saying
I don't
that
think it
they're
was
still
that
kind of
well
going
thought out.
back and forth as to whether or not it's canon or not?
It's
I don't think Secret Invasion was that well thought out.
It's not even just Secret
the shows.
Invasion being thought out. It's like War Machine's arc. I don't think they knew what they wanted to do with the character.
Sure.
Because at least in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he was a Skrull. There was a deleted scene for it in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Sure.
Oh,
So, but they don't know.
Okay.
They didn't really discuss it. So, and you can tell they're avoiding talking about anything related to Armor Wars right now.
And Secret
which
Invasion.
And Secret
sucks
Invasion.
because I really wanted to see Armor Wars.
And I honestly enjoyed Secret Invasion. I don't know that it was well done, but I enjoyed watching it for what it was.
I haven't enjoyed Don Cheadle as War Machine that much. I mean, he's fine, but I still am behind that Terrence Howard did a better job in my opinion.
No, I like the new actor.
Terrence
that they chose for
Howard played War Machine like comic book War Machine.
Gross.
What do you mean gross? He acts like War Machine.
Who cares?
He keeps Tony in check. That's his job. I feel like the current War Machine just kind of goes along with whatever Tony wants to do. That's been my biggest issue with him. He never really other than Iron Man 2, he doesn't really tell Tony, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. He just backs him in Civil War, hands down. Just that's kind of weird to me. He doesn't really play both sides of that conversation. He just immediately backs Tony.
Well, they're best friends.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
but he always has a conversation with him about stuff like, should we do this? Is this a good idea? Because he's kind of the devil's advocate.
I guess.
I don't know. I feel like he doesn't challenge him enough as a friend, and he does in the comics. So
Okay. Well, all that being said, I don't think this is the best offering coming this summer. Obviously, Fantastic Four is coming, but I don't think this looks bad. I am interested in seeing Anthony Ramos.
we really haven't talked. Okay,
in
so
this character.
this show still is doing the WandaVision thing of is Mephisto in it or not?
Well, it is interesting to see what's going on with his back.
Mephisto.
His back.
Marketing the character himself is directly tied to Mephisto, like it's in the comics. So and there's a theory that she might be being lured to sell her soul to Mephisto for some reason.
Well, the story is the story is that the Hood sold his soul to Mephisto.
Yes, that I know.
He was a very poor, broke, petty thief, sold his soul to Mephisto. And so she's being lured into whatever he's a part of. And you look at this and it just looks like he is just he could fit in any Fast and the Furious movie. I mean, he could right up until this point that you're about to see when it shows his back, that right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
And those runes are moving on his back. If you pay attention to it, it's overtaking his skin. And then all of a sudden it's okay, so there's something magical going on there. And then you see him curve a bullet.
Well, he also
in the trailer.
he
So
also,
there is magic involved.
He also teleports into a scene.
Okay, I don't think I caught that.
It's the beginning of give it a minute or two. But my biggest concern with this is that we are seeing a human fighting a magical entity. I'm not really sure I'm interested again in that.
The MCU.
The way I can describe it is if Iron Man, if Iron Man and Doctor Strange were for whatever reason to kind of go
Iron Man and
head to
Loki.
head.
I was gonna say Iron Man and Loki, or Iron Man and the comic book version of Mandarin, but I don't know. She's for her first storyline fighting the Hood. I don't know.
Yeah, the
Me
only
personally,
reference I have for the Hood was from that What If episode, so I have no idea what the Hood is.
I just would have preferred. I think also I'm just would have preferred a Harley Keener follow up, just because we haven't seen that character since Iron Man 3, and that would have been more interesting.
Oh.
Maybe he shows up here. Who knows?
Maybe.
I mean, there's a lot missing from the trailer
There is.
to begin with.
Where?
But I'm surprised they're already showing off both suits that she's building instead of just the one.
It wouldn't surprise me if everything we're seeing right here is the first 2 episodes.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty common for them.
I would. I hope that they keep the tone of this feeling like a. It's coming up, by the way. The scene where he pops in. But it's. What was it saying? Oh. I just don't. I don't think I am invested in this character enough either.
Maybe this will be what gets you invested.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a yeah. But where is it? There's like a scene where he pops in for a sec. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Maybe you imagined it.
Maybe I imagined it. We'll see.
I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, so he is much more magical than just a couple rooms.
Hopefully they'll handle it better than they have handled. Better than the DC people handled Green Arrow versus
Damien
Dark.
Maybe.
But I think Marvel has made a pretty good point of magic versus science so far with Loki and the Asgardians. They've done an okay job with that.
I will say she is.
I guess you could also technically throw in Spider-Man in there with Mysterio.
And
even though it wasn't really magic, but it was
Infinity
still more
War,
science.
and Infinity War with the Black Order.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I will say this does have the advantage that Miss Marvel had. Well, sort of. I guess she does know Shuri, but Miss Marvel didn't know any other heroes, so it didn't make sense for any other heroes to pop into a conflict like this. In this case, she does know Shuri, but I don't know if she would have Shuri on speed dial or anything, just to be like, oh, by the way, I'm dealing with this guy. Can you come help me?
I mean, that is a problem too.
But
because Shuri's shown in a flashback.
True.
She's shown in a flashback, and it will be another one of those things like, why didn't they just come help you? Why did you need to develop the suit?
Maybe they discuss it.
Hopefully they do. Hopefully they address it, because that is the Marvel thing that we've already talked about before.
Why she has to make a new suit? Because Wakanda told her that she couldn't take it with her.
Well,
which,
I know, but if they're going to tell her you can't make a new suit,
it wasn't made out of vibranium, though, was it?
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is, if they say you can't have the suit, then they've got to be willing to come help you if you have a problem.
Yeah,
so that's part of the issue is there's an Avengers, but they don't come help each other when there's a problem. It's the same thing.
I don't understand why she couldn't take the suit anyway. They never really thoroughly explained that. That was part of my biggest issue, honestly, with that movie. It was just like, it felt really weird that you allowed her to make this suit. You allowed her to help in this conflict. And at the end of the whole thing, because you're willing to give Sam a brand new suit with vibranium wings.
And Bucky a vibranium arm.
And replace Bucky's vibranium arm because it was stolen by Rocket. That is canon. He has it. So and
replace it again. Exactly. So it's
I didn't know that.
It's true. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense except to create this storyline.
Yeah.
But all right, let's move on to the one that seems much more exciting. Let's talk about Superman for a second.
I will say this is the actual first trailer though, because the others were just like little teasers
and that's what James Gunn claims. James Gunn claims this is the first trailer.
Which it feels like a first trailer. I love it.
All right, let's watch it.
Oh, it's still muted. At least on this video it is. On the video itself.
On the video itself. Okay, I'll back it up for a second. Hold on.
Ready.
Back you up. Sorry about that, guys. Let's watch it.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some
it's
might.
A lot of fire.
It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me.
Around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die. Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Your choices. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. It's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
You have a dog?
Love it.
I love crypto.
All right, let me just say up front, they have gone back and forth with me of interested, not interested, interested, not interested. But I'm hooked and ready for this now.
Okay.
Just based on the interview alone, where she starts asking him questions and he thinks, well, this is Lois, who I'm in love with, who loves me, and she's not going to do any damage to me. And she goes after him with real questions that he doesn't have real answers for. And nobody's approached their relationship that way in any version of Superman that I've been alive.
Oh, I know.
And so I saw that and I was like, okay, this is going to be different and it's going to be fun. And I like it.
Snyder fans are already comparing and saying that Snyder's is better.
I don't care.
And
I've been saying that from the beginning.
Well, no, so this is what frustrates me about it. I hate it. I hate that they're saying that because, first of all, she should challenge him. That's her job.
That's her job.
That's literally her job.
It's great. But also, he tackles the Sokovia Accords in the first movie.
Yeah.
Because basically, he says he has Superman address, you're a representative of the United States. I wasn't representing anyone but myself.
Yeah.
And right there, it's like, did you consult the president before you made this move? No, I was saving lives. That's the whole point of the Sokovia Accords in the MCU. And they handle it kind of messy and dumb. And I mean, It is what it is. It looks like this is going to be handled so well. Now I'm back to excited for this movie. The second most exciting thing. Can you guess what I'm going to say the second most exciting thing was?
What?
The lady with the blade hands destroying all those crappy robots.
Who is that?
Mercy.
And the other one.
It's Mercy.
Mercy destroying the crappy robots made me so happy. I could not be more thrilled than watching those robots get destroyed.
Ultraman and Mercy, and Ultraman is rumored to be Bizarro in an Ultraman look-alike suit.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Also, are they making another... I guess, are they doing the idea where Lex Luthor is the president or just another, like,
I don't think
weapons dealer or something?
I don't think he's the president. But I'm not sure I love what they're doing with Lex Luthor.
What?
It's almost kind of an insane thing instead of a brilliant thing. When you see him like scream like,
well, no,
like,
that is Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor eventually does start to go mad.
Right,
It's just
and
he's not mad from the. That was my biggest problem with.
We're in the first movie. That's my point.
Yes, he does eventually. He is a mad scientist. He was always originally a mad scientist. The thing is that he always develops to a mad scientist. Whereas Batman vs. Superman had him as a crazy whack job from the beginning. They had a guy who looked like Riddler.
Okay, well, this has him being kind of crazy at the beginning.
At the end.
That's what I'm saying.
Not at the beginning.
This is the first movie. That's the whole point.
Near the end of the movie.
He better be in more than one stupid movie.
I expect him to be, but he does go crazy early on in Superman's career. He just doesn't start out crazy.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with the way they're taking that, but everything else has me super interested in this. I also don't love Guy Gardner. I wish they would not do that.
What?
He just looks so stupid with his bowl cut.
He's supposed to.
I know. I just get rid of him.
What's the word? There's a lot more bad guys that I don't know who they are.
What?
Fair point.
The kaiju.
Well, there's the kaiju. There's the dark side looking ripoff dude.
What?
Or is that dark side?
No, that's Metamorpho. He's a superhero on The Outsiders.
The who?
Right, exactly.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. Batman and The Outsiders are a team. They have Katana, Metamorpho, and usually one other person that I.
A different Katana, right?
What?
A different Katana.
Okay, who's the guy with the gold helmet? Who's the guy with the
gold?
gold helmet right there?
I don't remember.
The flying one?
Yeah.
That's.
It looks like.
It looked like Hot Girl, but
it
it
looked
could
like
be the
Juggernaut.
guy.
It looked like gold-plated Juggernaut.
It looked like the guy from what was it, Black Adam?
Hold on.
I guess
No,
the male
different-
version
different.
of Hot Girl or whatever.
Villain.
I think it's different.
Let me pull it up.
And yeah, I don't.
I
know.
love watching the robots get destroyed. That just made me so happy.
I mean, they're robots. It's
So stupid.
There was another. I also don't know what that is. That space cosmic looking thing.
What? Which one?
The one that's in the. I also don't know who that is either.
Oh, that's
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific.
Oh,
there's a lot of superheroes in this. There's a lot of
it's for a Superman movie.
I was
There's
about to
a
say,
lot
why
of
are they
characters in
adding
this.
so many side characters for a Superman movie.
Well,
Because it's introducing everything.
Well, and there's going to be a lot of like semi.
That scene right there, it's too early for that.
I don't believe so. No, because he's creating countermeasures against Superman,
Also,
and they're all failing. And I'm assuming that's at the end of the movie.
Is that
yes, he would
supposed
go
to be
crazy.
a Green Lantern?
Yes, that's Guy Gardner.
It's Guy Gardner with the bowl cut.
Okay.
And the
Hopefully he
Metamorpho
doesn't
and the
survive
Red.
this movie.
He's gonna survive because Peacemaker has him in it.
Season 2 or season 1?
Season 2.
Okay.
Which, also speaking of, I'm confused as to the state of the DCU because Peacemaker has, then the season 2 trailer has the stuff from this universe, right? But he is from the original universe. But also, there's like a transdimensional portal that might send him to this universe.
It's a
But also,
multiverse.
Flash established that he reset the timeline, so I thought this was a reset from the Flash movie. But
I thought
guess
the Flash movie didn't exist in this universe.
I thought the Flash movie reset everything to this universe.
No,
But apparently it's its own separate universe.
is.
I don't know.
No, the Flash movie has nothing to do with this.
I
James
don't
Gunn doesn't
think-
claim it as part of this at all.
I don't
like, not even as the reset.
I'm also surprised that James Gunn is even saying that this is the first trailer and basically the other ones were just teasers and whatnot.
It was an interview the other day. Someone was like, "So when are we going to get the next trailer?" And he goes, "You haven't seen a trailer yet. You've seen snippets and you've seen a 5-minute preview, but you haven't seen an official trailer yet."
We had a teaser.
That's how he said it.
We had a teaser, we had a teaser trailer, and then we had a little clip. And that is all we've gotten. This is the actual first trailer.
It's more than we've gotten than what Marvel decided to put out for Ironheart.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. They did a little snippet on the Disney Plus promo.
Yeah, that I don't count that.
A little 3-second snippet on the Disney Plus
hit it
promo.
in there.
So other than that, though, I mean, there's not a lot. There's not a lot here that's a excuse me. There's not a lot here that's a surprise other than the Lois interview. I mean, I guess I didn't expect to see Lex in this scene. In this movie, not that it would never happen, because I think it happened in the Christopher Reeve version, but it didn't happen in the first movie.
It should have did it not happen in Smallville either? I know in Smallville he figured out that Clark was Superman pretty early on.
It might have happened in Smallville.
Or he figured out he was a Kryptonian.
I just didn't.
Because he wasn't Superman yet.
I didn't expect to see him there in the first movie. Not that it would never happen.
Yeah, I mean.
So there's a lot of things in this movie that I think are happening early, but okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do, obviously you have a plan.
Well,
like I said, this is a little bit more exciting to me than what we were getting before.
Yeah. Well, and you keep saying first movie, but the way James Gunn is treating this, it's not an origin movie. It is the first movie, but it's not an origin to Lex Luthor. It's not an origin to Superman.
No, I know that.
This is more like a second movie. We just didn't see the first movie.
That's fair.
So, because we've seen the Superman story so many times.
In so many forms. Yeah, for sure.
So,
for sure.
I am glad that we're just cutting through the early stuff and just doing Superman. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Which I still want to go back and finish Superman and Lois, because that's the only, I guess, Superman project that I really liked.
That one's the one you really liked? Oh, well, I guess if you haven't seen Smallville, then you wouldn't.
No, I haven't seen Smallville.
You're missing
and then the only other ones that I've seen was
Snyder's.
Yeah, all of Zack Snyder's stuff.
I'm sorry.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I feel bad for you.
But I am excited for this. It's been a while since I've been excited for a DC project.
I am too. Like I said, I don't think there's a whole lot to chew on this trailer, except for this interview. Just
the interview alone is fantastic.
Yeah. If he had done a sneak preview of the interview instead of the robots, I would have never lost interest in this movie. This drew me right back in.
See, I am glad that it is a challenging interview, and I do like that he doesn't have all the answers, and I like that she doesn't put up with the little answers, the little I'm just representing he doesn't have an answer. And I like that he's like.
Well, I like that she calls him Superman. She reminds him, "You're supposed to be Superman, not Clark. Don't get offended."
Yeah.
Like he says something. Are this how it's gonna be? And she's like, "I'm not the one, Superman."
Yeah.
Let me remind you what we're doing here.
Yeah. This isn't your girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah. Meeting you for the first time. This isn't that kind of interview. This is like a real interview. You did something very big without any supervision, and I'm gonna take you seriously on it because you might have caused a big problem here. We don't know,
right?
And if it goes badly, and you are from the U.S. soil, even if you say you don't represent America, if something bad happens, it could start another war with the U.S. on accident.
Right. Well, and if you think about it, Superman was always truth, justice, and the American way.
Well, it's now truth, justice, and a new tomorrow or something.
Still, it was always truth, justice, and the American way, because he was always an American superhero.
Yeah.
So he should have taken that into account a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was just trying to do the right thing and save people and not have people dying. It's going to be a fun view to see how they address all of that. I'm really, really interested, where I had lost interest a bit in what they were doing, because I thought they were going to go some silly route with this movie, and now you can definitely see that it's not going to be silly and Guardians of the Galaxy-ish. It's going to be fun.
Definitely going to be super serious.
It's going to be serious and fun and still have light moments. It's not going to be dark like Zack Snyder's crap. But it's gonna be serious and still light and fun.
There will be intentionally funny moments.
Yes.
Not weird, goofy.
Even if they do have
trying to take it seriously, and I failed.
Even if they do have a goofy robot scene.
The robot scene really isn't that bad though.
I still like it. I still think that's gonna be funny.
That's because you guys are young and dumb.
We also really like.
I love you.
I love crypto. I love that they're doing crypto. This is one of the things. Crypto and Robin are two characters that never get introduced into DC lore in the movies, and I cannot wait. Robin.
Batman Robin.
Yes.
You mean Chris O'Donnell? Okay, I just want to make sure that we know that Chris O'Donnell was in a movie.
We do not.
I think he was actually in 2 movies.
We do not talk about it. Okay, we don't talk about
Which movies?
We don't talk about Chicks Love the Car.
Batman and Robin was the name of one of them.
And Batman.
Oh,
Forever.
so
Actually,
Batman Forever was the other one.
It was the other way around. It's Batman Forever and then Batman and Robin.
So the
Either
older
way,
projects.
We don't talk about them projects.
I mean, Val Kilmer was Batman in one of those. And actually, there's actually a director's cut of Batman Forever that's being shown in LA here soon.
Really?
It's only being shown in LA.
People have been asking for the director.
Kevin Smith has been saying, I'm the only person who's seen it outside of the director, and it's good.
Yeah, that people have been asking for that director's
for a long
cut
time.
For a
yeah,
long time, because it had been rumored that there was one.
Yeah, and it's different, significantly enough different that Kevin Smith was like, "This was a great version.
This is what should have been." Yeah.
So,
I want to see it. Hopefully, it becomes mainstream at some point. But I do want Robin done right. I do. I am tired of Titans gritty Robin, and I am.
I actually thought Titans Robin was not bad, except that he never seemed to grow. Like I say Robin, what I really mean is
he grew into Nightwing without growing into Nightwing.
He grew into Nightwing, but Nightwing never grew up.
No,
throughout the Titan
acted
series,
like Robin in his Nightwing costume.
I wish that he had shown character growth throughout Titans, because Titans had so much potential, and they ruined it.
He ended up, what they did is they wrote the same arc 4 separate times for Robin.
Yes. Yes.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Yes.
He never shows any character development at all. He's the same character.
He regresses at the end of every season.
Every season.
And then
starts over. It's bad. It's really bad.
And that's every character in Titans, though.
That's kind of true, except for Hawk, who never...
Oh, he dies.
Right. He never gets to reset because he dies.
Jason started out pretty bad in season 1 and then continued.
He ended bad.
Actually, he started to get better in season 2.
And then he
died.
regressed. Right. Anyway, all that to say, 2 great trailers. Looks like we've got a couple of great things we're going to be able to talk about. I'm excited again. You know that I was excited and then I wasn't. I'm back on the excited train for Superman. You guys are still excited about Superman.
I'm still excited for Superman. And I can already name off different projects that are coming out around the same time as Ironheart that I'm way more excited for.
Way more excited than Ironheart?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Like what?
You got Happy Gilmore 2. You got Final Destination Bloodlines. You got Lilo and Stitch, which literally comes out next Friday.
Actually, Lilo and Stitch and Final Destination.
Lilo and Stitch is the only one of those so far that I'm...
Whoa. You're not...
Really?
Tony Todd's last performance ever.
I don't care.
What?
I don't care.
That's nuts.
I just watched Final Destination 1 and 2 last week.
I gotta go back and rewatch them, but I also
they're
don't
all
know
on
if the 6th one is gonna connect back to
They're
them
all on
'cause
HBO.
They somewhat loosely do, but
yeah, they're all loosely connected, but not really connected.
Yeah.
In this
Ali
case,
Larder, I think, shows up
in
a future movie, but
in this one, it's supposed to be like the kids of everyone who survived is technically destined to die because they were never supposed to be born.
yeah.
Oh,
As much as that sounds like a theater movie for me, it's probably going to be an HBO movie. I'm just being honest.
All right.
So yeah, out of all of those, Lilo and Stitch is the only one that really piques my
excited
interest.
for Lilo and Stitch, though. I'm wondering if that's gonna be a franchise thing or not. Like if they're gonna go and try to adapt everything Lilo and Stitch into movies, or if they're just going to do the one movie.
Just the one movie, I'm sure.
I think Stitch as a glitch would be great in live action.
I just don't think they'll do it. I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah,
there were several of those Lilo and Stitch projects were good.
4 movies.
I don't think they're going to do all of that.
Yeah. Well,
so maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it.
And the same thing for How to Train Your Dragon. I wonder if they're going to do all 3 movies or if they're just going to do the one.
It probably will just depend on how the first one does and what the audience thinks.
Yep, agreed.
So We'll see.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're going to call this a show.
Yeah.
We'll be back for Punisher soon.
I just want to say.
We keep saying that every episode. We'll be back with Punisher soon.
I just want to say, though, I will not stop supporting both Superman and Fantastic Four. I know you've like been back and forth on both, but I think both movies are going to rock the summer.
I'm ready for both of them. I'm ready for Fantastic Four too. So yeah, no, this definitely lifted my spirits a bit for the movie scene for the summer.
Super fantastic summer.
Super fantastic summer, all stitched together. And with that, we're out.